Map pick. Hello, welcome back, everybody. We are here. We are into our final match of our Swiss stage. We have gone through the numbers, and after a brutal loss, I would like to say, for TUS in their previous match against UU in a 19-17 overtime loss, it puts them down to a 5-4 against another, going to be going up against UCD who won their previous match, going up from 4-4 to 5-4. So this matters a lot for qualification, and one of these teams is going to be like knocked out of playoffs here. The other team will be trying to qualify through, I believe it's one of our either 2 or 3 tiebreaker slots. So just very quickly, after the brackets have been drafted, it means that there's 4 playoff spots up for grabs. But potentially, if 2 of those teams lose, there's only 2 teams, out of those 8 teams, if 2 of them lose, which would, I believe that's, if I quickly look.
Choose your agent.
Which one is it? TUD Ivory versus UU. If UU win, they qualify. If TUD Ivory win, they force a tiebreaker, which is a big deal. And what are the other one? Where is it? UG versus DKIT, I believe, is for qualification. QUB is for qualification. And DCU Titans versus NCIA. If DCU lose, they are still on 6 and they go to tiebreaker instead of qualifying. So it's a big game for DCU Titans as well. So potentially after this game, we are either going to have 4 teams, anywhere between 2 or 4 teams more qualified. So that means we're going to be between either 3 slots remaining or 1 slot remaining for that 6-4 tiebreaker. And this entire round is up for grabs as we finally get to see Lotus on stream. I'm sorry that I've been blabbering on about the tiebreaker, but as we go into this Lotus game, we'll try to refocus our minds here. UU beating TUS in a 1917 victory. We had a look at the victory screen, and it was a long game for TUS. I believe I can't remember exactly who it was on their side. I will see if I can grab the screenshot. But one of their players had 42 kills, 25 losses, and 11 first bloods, and they lost the game. I think it was Gojo.
Yeah, I imagine it was a duelist player.
Yeah, so he's coming back for revenge. No, it was Tempo. So Tempo is coming back for revenge in this game, in the second match of the evening. First time we've seen Lotus on stream this act, or this split. It's one of the, I believe we were doing the map pick ban percentages over the last few weeks, and if I have the numbers pulled up right here. This was as of last week, so this is not currently up to date, but as of last week, Lotus has an 8.7% pick rate with has only been picked 9 times as of the end of week 4. So these teams haven't had a lot of games to practice on it, other than playing it in ranked and maybe in scrims. And we were kind of saying before we got in with our lovely producer Zeno that, like, basically this is gonna be one of those games where the team that has practiced this map more is gonna take the win. So it's all gonna come down to preparation.
Yeah, definitely.
Sorry, I was just gonna let our producer know as well, just for the HUD overlay. It is TUS Dragons, just to make sure that it is corrected, I believe.
Yeah,
but we're gonna be getting in here.
Game.
Yeah.
Yeah. So now that we are getting into the match, it's gonna be interesting to see. We are seeing, both the nerf and buffed agents in Raze and Cypher on both teams. So it'll be interesting to see how both these teams go about it, as well as, a breach on one side, a Sova on the other. So just different ideas going into their Sentinel and Duelist choices as well, with the Rain and Jet opposing each other. TUS have a lot to kind of play for here. They're starting on the defensive side, so I feel like they're gonna definitely be fighting tooth and nail for this match, no matter how it starts and no matter how this pistol begins.
Just waiting on, I believe we've had a disconnection on the side of, I believe it's UCD. I think it's the Cypher or yeah, Flash.
Local sniffer.
Yeah. Oh, wait, is it? Oh, right. Yeah, I remember. We casted UCD before. I forgot about that name. But yeah, I believe it's either Flash. Yeah, Flash. I think has had a disconnection, so we're just awaiting him to rejoin the server, and then we should be getting this one underway. I believe we do see him moving around now.
This goes here.
It's a Downing Pro as the Omen, I believe, that is having some issues. Unless he's just planning on sitting in spawn the whole game, so we'll have to see. They are ready in chat.
Yeah,
we're gonna get into it now, though.
Yeah, getting back into this now. We see a little bit of a setup coming out from these teams. 1 second, I will just start the game for them. Oh, wait, wrong one. My bad. Anyway, we move on. Going into this game, early looking like okay, they are going for an early set play out towards A, and it is nobody home.
Yeah, it's definitely going to be thrown out. The breach actually stuns his teammates, so they weren't allowed to get it as aggressive, but it doesn't matter because they're going to instantly find it. The Cypher is going to get so much info early, and the rotates are going to be instant. They're going to get one before falling, but the flank from the only throw.
One enemy remaining.
The smoke
Spike
keeps
down,
going.
C.
The rest of the team come to follow, and it's just Flash now. Solo on his double dink. Gets 1 kill on set, but cannot finish off the opposing Omen. Really fast-paced push that just got mitigated straight away. It looked like C was just completely going to get decimated. That Joro Pazu was a sitting duck there alone, but the instant rotates after the aggression on A means that they were able to just get these kills out straight away.
Yeah, great rotation once they realized that nobody was home on that aggressive A push. They're actually just going to run it back. They know nobody was here, so they're just going to send it again. But again, it's not going to be towards this A position. They're going to go for the full push in this time. They're actually not going to send the players running back right away. And it's actually going to be a B hit to start this one off. This is where we're going to see this new Cypher trip come into play. They spot it out, waiting right behind it. Omen Smoke going to come down to block it off, and now the spray through the smoke starts to come out. A lot of damage dealt to the attackers, who opted not to just break the trip and go for the quick hit onto the site. And now their flank is completely covered. Zangetsu in a great spot here with Tempo. Had a great showing in his previous matchup. Gotta find one, then guess he's gonna get one as well. Right click.
One enemy remaining.
Gotta be able to find one. Second satchel. And Tempo showing off why he did so well in that previous match.
Yeah, no. Even with the nerf raise, so much power can be done. But you could see there, like, the arm time of one of those satchels is just so long. 2 seconds feels like so long until that green light pops. And he did get a kill with it, but it feels so difficult now to do it for any bit of damage, you know, like before where you could just pop it for that little bit of chip at the end of something close range fight, but now it loses so much value. They're going to be fully on rifles now. This same Tempo going to go aggressive as well with the satchels on top of that, so he's already deep. He does only have a Spectre though, so I don't think it can lead to much, and they're going to pull back anyways. Gojo is going to hold this by himself a little bit. He's going to bait him out, but time to bleed. He's going to fall. The Ares has so much just target pressure here. They get the second one as well. They're able to pick up a couple of rifles for themselves, make this bonus even stronger. And the rest of the attackers are going to push their way onto C and take out that Cypher, get all of that utility out of the way as soon as they can, but they're being pinched on very quickly. And an open plant is not the answer. He falls. Flash though, setting himself up for one, can't get the third, but it doesn't matter. Tempo KD gets taken out, and I Am the Slime God finishes it up, gets them the first round on the board, but it is still the bonus, and it's a dirty one. That just means that the attackers, they're going to be really strapped for cash now this round, trying to figure out what they're going to do.
Yeah, that was a great round from them. even in loss, taking out those 4 players, it actually came down to Flash sitting outside that C site. If he didn't catch those 2 kills, I think that round would have went the other way, and it would have been a lot of even worse position for UCD to be in. Again, this early aggression towards A, something we see very commonly from defending teams on this map. Just take full control of the stairs. They didn't hear the TP out from the Omen, but he misses the headshot. It's so unfortunate for local Schniffer. But Slime God managed to get one back in response. Seth gonna follow up as well. Gojo with just the Sheriff gets one. They actually didn't go for any, only really having the 1 rifle carried over from that last round means that they're actually gonna lose that as well outside of A main. So not gonna only be on the Sheriffs and the Marshal for the time being. And I love the patience from Juro on the opposite side as well. Doesn't need to push. Pushes up, gets that Cypher tripwire down, and then just sits behind Mount. He knows he doesn't need to play aggressive. Doesn't want to get caught off guard. Wants to make sure that he is there for if they do manage to, you know, get exactly what just happened. Find the pick. And Gojo gotta be able to get away from Tempo KD, who's only on 9 HP now. But the Cypher's done a full rotation. Tripwire is gonna spot. And it is going to be broken. I thought we were going to see the respawn from the tripwire on that new patch, but not going to be able to see it for the time being. And the bleed with the double satchel. He's going to miss the box, though. So, going to have to just reposition. Juro now has his camera available. I think he saw Flash put up his camera and is playing so patient to not give away his position. Catches the spike, though. Time to bleed. Going to be able to get the spike down now as the 2v2 begins. The Jet.
Standing.
1 HP, gonna catch Time to bleed out of position though. Gojo gonna get spotted. Showstopper gonna hit into the pillar. Now it's just that spike dance. Tempo trying to spread out what he can. The shoulder's gonna be seen. Gojo unfortunately gonna lose that one, and the round goes to TUS.
That was just insane. I was just so tense there. 9 HP on Tempo. Watching him try to fight a 1v2 and winning it out in the end. It's just so terrifying. He literally just shoots the showstopper at the wall, just trying to get anything. He does get it though. The defense does get their third. Is going to be a buy-up though for the attackers as well. UCD able to get something out here, and it's so costly for the defenders. So they're just really swapping economic positions mostly, given how the last 2 rounds have gone. This A set piece though is going to come out again. They're going to go for what they went for on the pistol round, which maybe it can get them something here, but it looks like Sova is just going to play very safe here. Hunter's Fury though does come out, dealing a nice bit of damage and actually takes out the Breach, completely destroying that initiator, taking a rifle out of the hands. It can be recovered, but still dealing a nice bit of damage and looking their way towards the B site now, getting info and getting a bit of presence.
That Omen smoke denying them entry for the time being. Now as they start to spread themselves out, we're going to see some utility recovered from the Cypher on that attacking side. Juro gonna now get spotted by a couple of players as they head towards the seaside. Paranoia gonna miss. So is the Marshall shot. Seth gonna get one onto Gojo. He was low anyway. Seth finds the second on Time to bleed though. That's a bigger kill. Seth's gotta find one. Tempo gotta find one. The round is falling apart for UCD here. It's Slime God versus 4. All full HP. Has to try isolate some fights here, but they're fully aware he may be here. The jumping around from Tempo. Gonna secure Seth a 4K.
Yeah, just playing to it there, but really well played. Especially after Slime God's able to deal so much damage and even get a pick with the early Hunter's Fury. It just felt like the attackers had such a strong advantage going into that. But I think you have to note that Cypher utility did so much. The trap slowing them down, the cage just blocking off so many sight lines, and then just being able to spam through a smoke because you get that silhouette. Just means you can just spam and just sit back, and that's exactly what works. Tempo going once again for aggression, nading straight against the wall, and getting such a pushed up position, giving them a nice bit of pressure off on A. As he's actually going to keep going with it, it looks like. Flash goes in, but he doesn't get anything. Gojo dodges the flash, sticks out. 1 kill with the can't get a second. Aftershock gets another
I know
local
exactly.
sniffer, or onto local sniffer, and they're just trading back and forth back here in the A main. It feels like this is where so much of the tension is being drawn for this game. But they're just going to run their way back towards B. They know 2 are on A. They know where they need to set their eyes. And Juro gets that last bit of info. So they are confirmed to be on B. And now it's just about how is the retake going to unfold. And Flash caught planting.
Last
Now
player
going for the
standing.
trade, time to bleed with a double. Nade comes in. It's actually going to be really strong for pushing Juro out of his position. And he's just not set for anything here. No utility for him. It's just going to have to be gunshots that take him through here. And he's clearing as much as he can. Time to bleed. But really nothing can be gotten here. They're playing so safe. It's put in such a deep position that it doesn't feel like he can get much here. One shock dart. And he's just going to play with it here. So there's no need to go for anything. Time to bleed. Has enough time to rotate. They're able to get a really nice round here, not investing that much, but the trades just go their way at the A main position and they pull it back from there.
Yeah, that was a great round coming out from the breach, but in the end, UCD get the better of the trades. Time to lead, finding those 2 kills over on that B take and stopping that defuse from coming in there, just playing with their food and just denying them that kill, just having time to bleed, like being alive. Makes it so hard in that 1v2, and finally another round goes the way of UCD. Very close game so far from these 2 teams, and very similar setup to what we've seen so far. Seth actually going aggressive over towards that B site to start out this one. Not a lot of utility committed towards A, I believe. I'm just going to double check. Yeah, they didn't. Only just the Raze nade committed, and the tremor or the fault line coming out from the breach. So still a lot of utility available for these defenders as they try to go for this C hit here. The Cypher Cam actually not committed to here to C this time. It's over towards that B site. So the only thing here is those tripwires. Juro has also kind of given away his position in previous rounds, and he's actually just gonna respect it. He's gonna fall off as he doesn't want to give it away. He actually, that tripwire was slightly too far back and was covering him through the wall. So unfortunate positioning for that one as the Rolling Thunder now coming in, hitting onto, I believe, 3 players. Flash to follow it up. Slime's not going to be the first to fall as I get to. And Tempo going in tandem, finding one, but Gojo trying to keep the team alive. Juro and Only Crow doing big damage. Time to bleed, manages to get a second one, but Zangetsu, another Aftershock kill. I think a lot of people still underestimating that Aftershock damage change, thinking that it's only going to do 60. It does 80 per tick now. It's enough to take you down if you don't respect it. So it's got to be a very fast retake coming in from them and another round on the board.
Yeah, the breach util doing so much. I am gonna note though, I can see why TUS wanted to pick this, because they are absolutely, they have a game plan. You can see their A setup especially, that they at least have their set pieces, they have their dynamics planned, so they know exactly how to play off each other. Those couple of rounds it didn't work out fully, but it feels like they just look so much more comfortable on the map compared to the attackers, who are just kind of poking their way around and not looking like they're sure of exactly what they want to do here. They do actually get some A control here this time around. They're not completely forced out by the fault line and the Raze nade. So when they are given the room, so they might be able to get something here. I want to get a little bit of info onto B as well while they're here. But they're completely being wrapped around. They know they're all here around A. They don't even have a rifle in tow, so it just means that he might not get anything. But Seth caught off guard by that Ares sitting in the smoke, so he can just go on to B here. And it could lead to a rotate, or it could just be a flank. It seems to be he's going the long way around to the spawn. But it's too little too late, it feels like, as the rest of the team just get demolished. Tempo KD pops his ult, pops the spray, and it just leads to this situation. Hero gets caught off. The flank at least getting one right now, but Spike is in control
30 seconds
of
left.
TUS. And 3 rifles, so much utility to play with versus just the Sova is going to be a difficult affair.
Gengetsu as well still has 2 flashes available to him. Fault line as well. 14 seconds remaining on this clock here. Slime Guy can only really just do
10
economy
seconds
damage.
left.
Manages to take out 1. Gengetsu now with the flash, looks away, but not going to be able to stop that one from coming through. Yeah, I think it's a bit of a misplay from the side of UCD. They allowed them to get themselves to get surrounded, and then once the Sova actually gave them an opening, gave them an out, they hunkered down and allowed themselves to kind of be picked off by that Raze that was sitting from behind them. It might have been a better play to just try flash that Raze with something, just try a paranoia, anything, and then try rotate through that door, try to get your team out of that position. But they had already committed to it. They decided to stick with it. The round will go over to the side of TUS. And Slime God gonna actually open up with the Odin. We haven't seen this come out of them just yet, but it's so valuable for stopping that A aggression. And it's something that we've seen a lot of teams start picking up when you are stuck in this position where the teams will just keep pressuring over towards that A site. Oh, Flash catches Seth. Seth has been sitting there for a couple of rounds in a row, but no one has actually decided to push that off. They actually check it. It's gonna go down. Now the opening goes towards them, gonna weaken that A defense if they do try to go for a re-hit. Look where the Sova is. He's already poking at that defense, trying to get as much information as he can. Crow's gonna find a kill in response.
Cover going out.
But the rotate's already starting to come in from the side of from UCD. Actually, I think that Slime God might be trying to see if he can find another pick, just trying to catch someone off guard. But they're playing so passively at the back of this site. As noise starting to be made over towards that A site, but I don't know if they know Slime God is here. I don't think they do, and he's gonna go for the swing. He doesn't catch Juro. The timing gonna actually kind of work out for the Sova. He's now on their backline once again as the site hit goes in.
30
Juro
seconds left.
gonna get sprayed down by that Omen now, or Odin now. They are fully aware someone is in their backline, and they have to respect it. Tempo trying to find out what he can. Trying to see what he can, but the smoke's obscuring them for the time being. Flash gonna find one, Slime God gonna find another, and it's a great round coming out from UCD.
Yeah, really good call. Slime God having that position there just means they can do so much. They pop some B pressure and force them to get a little bit worried there, having to get some rotates over. But he just has the maneuverability, the flexibility to just turn around, go A, give a little bit of info, and then lurk his way back through B. So it's just such a good position he was in that kind of the whole round completely was cleaved on by him, because without that control, they had to be so worried about the CT position and how they could rotate in, whereas they were able to just pinch because of that. But a complete battle now going on in the enemy position. That Hunter's Fury able to get a kill onto Zangetsu again, and huge damage on the set, and it looks like this should just be the attackers completely mowing down the A site. Tempo KD trying to get some 2 kills in the back for him.
Down A.
As he gets a headshot, tries to clear off some of the angles with his paint shells. And he's just going to try and stick alive. 2 versus 3 though. And Juro is just on the Sheriff.
I do love this position from the Jet, though. Spike has already left. They're fully aware of it now with the Cypher coming in from behind. They know that Spike is gone. They now actually hear it be planted. This Jet is in such a good spot. Tempo's actually going to find him. And Gojo's going to find Juro. They were in such a good spot, but the positioning going to end up biting them in the end. Tempo also knows time to bleed is now in this spot. Going to have to reposition. Has to try isolate a 1v1 here. They're playing so well with this crossfire setup. Time to bleed, gonna get sprayed down, followed in by Tempo, and it's the whole round looking like it was gonna go to UCD. Falls apart right at the end.
Yeah, no, just really well played there completely. Able to catch them off with 2 kills. Like, he's in such a good position, you expect him to get 1, seeing as how he's doing a really good job already. But able to get 2 and then stay alive and just be such a nuisance. Flash is out of position watching his cams though, because they know exactly where he is. They hear the reload. Gojo is sitting there holding this off angle, and he hears them, so they know exactly where he is. But Flash just doesn't know that he's caught off there, doesn't know his shoulders peaking, and it just falls apart from there completely.
Jet, fly safe.
And just Tempo KD and Juro completely cinch around that they should not at all. give themselves a 7th in it, and they're just going to fight for more. First pick goes to Seth here, going for a more aggressive play. And now man advantage, they are in such a good spot here, and they're actually going for an early bank onto the C side.
Yeah, they're having to rotate back off of this one now. Man down, but gonna have to try and make something happen. The rotate's coming out from the defending side now. After sending the defense over towards that side, trying to hunker down, trying to make sure that they can't get on, trying to keep their Cypher alive into the later half of this round. Spreading out that defense now back into that default that we've seen them play so well in this half, and a lot of noise being made over towards B gives them time to have this setup.
Deploying drone.
Also, information just being gathered, you know, the Rays jump spotting over towards A, doesn't see anybody, a lot of noise being made outside of B, so they're aware that nobody has, you know, we don't have Slime God pushing up towards A like we had in the previous rounds. 3 players now anchoring this B site, and they're gonna have to try to make a move soon. 30 seconds remaining in the clock. Joru's actually, we haven't seen an aggressive play come out of Joru this entire time, but the flank is so well timed from him. He should be able to catch the Sova here on this rotate. Oh, but Slime God actually going back towards B.
10 seconds
Possibly
left.
the only thing that's keeping him alive. 8 seconds remaining. Spike goes down.
Spike down A. 1 enemy
No time
remaining.
remaining for them. It's only time to bleed. Managing to get 1 consolation kill, 2 consolation kills. But Zangetsu actually going to get another aftershock kill
Last
for
round in the
himself
half.
as we go into the final round of the half.
His breach util is actually insane, it feels. He's getting so much other value out of it, whether it's damage from aftershock, or complete just blinding the flashpoint has been getting. The Rolling Thunder as well, it stopped, you know, the plant in one of the previous rounds, and it's just been so strong anytime we've seen it. And he does have it up here for the last round of the half. Seth has an operator as well. They're able to spend a bit extra, and even has a rifle to swap over to if needed. But it just feels like this defense has so many different tricks up their sleeve that they are running. And there's just not enough answers from the attacking side. Once again though, Juro is actually going to go aggressive. They didn't see it the previous round. So now it's going to come in, and it has so much potential to completely destroy. I think he saw the trip last round as well, so he knows it should be there again. And now they're able to just have 3 people sitting here stacking a bit on A. They aren't budging for any info though, so I don't know how much they are really playing off of here. They're getting a bit questioning, but they see it now. They see the jet, and I think they can figure out exactly what's going to happen. The AWP is going to get the first bit of damage, going to spam a bit more, and now able to pop the Empress, pop so much damage. Devour dismissed, doubling up, and able to stay alive. 5 versus 3 now. Zangetsu sitting in this little corner, but the rest of his team are also just on point, able to give him as much support as humanly possible. Seth gets
1
taken
enemy
out,
remaining.
but it's really too little too late as it's just Flash alive now. Neural Hef
30 seconds left.
forced to play off of Zangetsu. Doesn't hit the spray. Tempo KD though comes in, gets the headshot. And 9-3 half for TUS, and it just feels like they're
Switching
completely
sides.
running the show now, trying to redeem themselves after the 1917 loss in our previous best of ones.
Yeah, they have just come in like a team possessed. They don't want to lose another game. They want to try get to those tiebreakers and win it out. As we go to this halftime, it's really gonna matter early on what UCD do here. We did mention that the defensive side is kind of the premier side for Lotus, and it's got, if they can't win on this defense, or if they can't string a couple rounds together on this defense, it's gonna be a very quick loss for them.
Where are you?
We're gonna have to see how this opens up. We're gonna see less of an aggressive start from the defending side to start this one off. We do see a very similar setup though. Cypher setup over towards C. And now straight away with no sound being made over towards A and the Omen pushed up to listen, they've actually just started to redistribute their defense. They're sending the jet over to try cover it up. Nade's going through to try to get rid of all these tripwires. Of course, that's what the Raze nade was nerfed for, to stop it from getting rid of all those trips. It did actually manage to get rid of one of them though. Cyber Cage gonna go down. Flash gonna do exactly what we've seen Juro do a lot on the opposite side. Just use that Cyber Cage to get off of that site and try to play defensively with his team. Juro actually gonna find 1 with time to bleed. Flash gonna be able to find 2 from Waterfall. Down to a 2 versus 3. Juro was very
One
low, but
enemy
gonna
remaining.
actually fall back to a 1 versus 2 now. Slime God, gotta know where they know the positioning of Crow. He is gonna push up. He's gonna have to go for the reload. Crow, not gonna time it just right. They know he's in this smoke. They know he's somewhere here. They're just toying with him. Oh no, the timing. Crow potentially could win this out. He has 30 seconds. He's gonna be able to go for the rotate.
30 seconds left.
He's going to go through the door, and he's going to commit to it as well. He's not going to, you know, try to fake them out or anything. Going to try to go for this plant, I imagine. Actually makes a step. He knows where he is, but still 20 seconds. He doesn't have to commit to a plant straight away. Going to block off the line of sight and going to get this plant. But it looks like they might move to a similar position, but no. Slime God just sticking to his guns and staying with the position he wanted to go for. He does have a recon bolt, so he can completely mitigate one direction in terms of info, but he's actually ready for this high up spot, and he checks it, doesn't even get tagged by the Omen, and really clean to end that 1v1. It looked like Only Crow was able to start off a really nice, you know, post-plant situation, but really good intuition from Slime God to check up there, to check for such an aggressive play. And they're able to get their fourth. The second half pistol is so important for them, but it's so much to play against still for them to win this.
No more charges left.
Yeah, they still have a long way to go if they want to try and bring this game to a win for themselves. Looks like we're getting some sort of shorty play coming out for the attacking side. I see a lot of shorties being hovered. So Tempo potentially going for a double satchel into the shorty play here. Nade early to try loosen them up.
Why destroyed?
That's going to get rid of the trip to stop this double satchel. Or we're going to be committed or taken by Tempo. This is very different than what we've seen the defensive do on the opposite side. They completely just stalled this A defense on the opposite side and stopped them from actually getting out over towards that broken wall. Whereas when we swap over to the UCD side, we can see they're actually giving them a little bit more real estate over towards this A site, which may be a mistake. You know, you're giving them time to set up, you're giving them time to figure stuff out. The camera gonna spot out 2 members, will now be destroyed. Sniffer gonna find 1 on the Tempo though. That's a big kill to start this one off, but Seth with the refrag onto Gojo through the smoke. A bit unfortunate, but now wall being broken, C site or B site completely open, and the site, no site for utility remaining. Really means that they can try kind of do what they want here. Seth's gonna find a second one. Slime God only has. Gonna swap out to the Ghost. He's gonna find a second one onto the Crow. But Juro actually just lurking out towards A, finds a huge kill onto Flash. Now as the recon ball comes out, they're trying to be able to.
Last player standing.
Bleed's actually gonna go for the swing, trying to deny as much time as possible. The defuse is just gonna be able to come through. Juro needs to go for this here, finds the first. Gonna be able to get himself an ult point and a kill. Still a valuable round for the attacking side, getting a lot of guns off of them, but will lose it out. Now as we go up to their full buy, it's got to be important for the UCD side here. If they can win out this round, just stall for as long as possible. Try to, or even if they do lose it, try to get as many guns off of this attacking side as possible. Try to make it harder for them to play this attacking half.
Yeah, if they're able to recover, to convert here, if they're able to, you know, not allow the enemies to, you know, break their streak, it could be so strong. But starting off, we are already up to 2 kills tempo, and Zangetsu are able to overcome the round.
Planted.
It looks like it's only going to go further, forcing the 2 duelists away with an aftershock flash. Another one on the opposing side.
1 enemy remaining.
He needs to do it all now. Time to Bleed does get him another one.
Not ready yet.
Sticks it into a 1 versus 3. But you're asking a lot, but he might be able to give it. 1 on his hands, killing the opposing Cypher. Does have a trap in hand. He's able to pop the Cyber Cage if he needs to. Is gonna, you know, check corners, but doesn't check deep enough. Gets caught off. He has to check so many locations, and there's just no time to do it, especially when you're a Sentinel. You don't have any flashes. You don't have any, you know, area denial. So there's not much you can do. Able to completely destroy them on their bonus round.
Oh, this is a nice spot.
Able to get themselves a nice 10th round. Double digits now for TUS Dragons.
And I believe I have I'm just double checking this. Yeah, so I've just received word that set 2 Val has been eliminated due to a 13-0 by Twinity as well. So other games are also being very spicy, not just this one. Slime actually getting a nice recon ball, but can't get the damage to the wall. Manages to just barely get set. Oh, and a nice spray on Sangetsu as well. So much damage being dealt with. Odin to start it off. Schniffer trying to find what he can. Oh, he just barely doesn't see Zangetsu. Paranoia gonna go out, but doesn't land. Gojo gonna get one as well. And now the rotate just having to be committed to by the attacking side. Flash in a great position though. Gonna miss the shot. He shot a bit. He overthought it. Gonna miss the shot. Back to a 3 versus 4. Low HP bars on 2 of the players. And they just have a lurk as well.
Spike planted.
Sova now gonna be. Oh, he grabbed the Ultor, but that's gonna be the Hunter's Fury available. But Juro, fully aware that he needs to try get this man advantage back. That is the low member. Time to bleed gonna be taken down. The Crow pushing up aggressively on Slime God. Manages to get the better of the exchange, but do they know Juro's here? No, he catches him off. It's so back and forth. Do they? I don't know if they know the breach. They don't know the breach is really low because it was an Odin spam through the wall. Schniffer trying to just do what he can, trying to play for as much time as he can. Gojo gonna get spotted by Juro though, and the round will go to TUS.
I don't even think Juro saw Gojo.
Oh,
I
my
think he was
camera
trying to
is broken.
spam the diffuser and he whipped by him to hit the jet.
It's fine.
So completely accidental, but nonetheless they get the round and stop that retake from occurring. The defense now really just in a terrible spot in this limbo of economy, trying to think about what they can buy. There is going to be that rebuy of the Odin from Slime God, but the attackers, they have so much money to work with. They have 2 ults in hand. The showstopper is available for time to bleed, so they could go for a really heavy play here to try to stop a match point from being gotten by TUS. But the lesser weaponry, they're just going to go. They hear noise and they're instantly going to rotate. They're not even going to think about exactly where they are, but it doesn't matter. They're going to lose the first kill. Their Omen is lost. Gojo has taken a huge bit of damage, and the plant is just going to go in. Time to Bleed does stop it momentarily, but he can't get a kill with damage.
Last player
And the
standing.
defense has only been able to get 1 kill this round. Flash alone now. He has done so much for his team. Only 1 though with that Spectre. TUS really trying to show that losing to UU it doesn't
point.
define their night tonight, because they are trying their hardest to get to the playoffs.
One more round is all it takes
That goes there.
for TUS to, take back what they lost in that previous game versus UCD. Or sorry, not UCD, UU. And try to get themselves to a tiebreaker. I'm kind of trying to keep an eye on the scores as we're going on. And the other update I have is that I believe it's QUB has won their game versus Maynooth and has qualified just in the past few moments. So we're now up to 4 teams with full qualification. As we see this attack starting to come in, Rolling Thunder is gonna go wide. It gives him a lot of space though to be able to work onto this side tempo. Trying to spot out what he can. Gonna take a lot of damage though. The nade from Trying to Bleed stalling long enough to be able to land that kill. And Spike now over towards that backside of the site. Gojo in position with Slime God, trying to get whatever they can. Retaking over towards the site now, finding another kill on the set. It's looking good for them for the time being. Shock darts raining in, trying to spot out what they can. They're just trapped here. They're trying to get away. Juro gonna get spammed down to 69 HP. Cybercage trying to get them across, but it doesn't matter. The spray
Spike down.
is
C.
clean from UCD. And now Crow, no utility available to him. Has to win a 1 versus 5, and it's a flawless round from UCD trying to keep themselves alive in this game.
Yeah, flawless, and they're able to get themselves a little bit better in terms of economy, because they didn't really have that much they were able to get, but they recovered full rifles. They still have the Odin, so they're in such a good spot. TUS, they are going to be forced onto pistols here, a bit of a lesser buy, but they have so much time that they aren't in a heavy rush to get these rounds, but you still want to close it out. You don't want to start feeling the pressure. They have 6 rounds to do it, but you don't want to allow the opposing team to get any closer if you can. It is very heavy towards A this time round. Slime God playing with that open again. Arrow going to be thrown up. Spam is going to come out. Not going to hit anyone yet. A little bit of sprinkling, but no one really taking a huge amount of damage. That Odin is not going to get the mark that it did in the previous rounds. Gojo able to get the kill back. But 4 versus 4 now, and he's being trapped. That Sheriff of Juro is going to pick up a second kill, and now a 3 versus 2. Neural Threat reveals where exactly both of them are, and Tempo KD is going to push his way down. He is going to go for these kills, it seems like. He's ready to catch someone trying to rotate into CT. But Time to Bleed is taking the long way around, but time is not on their side. And HP isn't either. Does catch a glimpse of the breach. Just sitting there. And he should be able to catch him off. Force it into a 2v2. Tempo KD though, timing as well. Flank on flank is occurring. 1 kill in hand, and a second falls through as well.
Attackers win.
US are able to defeat UCD Leviathans, are able to win out the game, give themselves a chance to get qualified, and completely push UCD out of the IECS.
Yeah, they did a great job. They managed to secure themselves that victory, putting them, if I look right now, they're up to 6-4. Which, with the loss of DCU Titans lost to NCI Panthers, that was a big game in terms of qualification, because that opens up another team that is on 6-4 for a tiebreaker to be able to possibly slip in. The other game that matters for that is the TUD Ivory game versus UU. That one has not finished just yet. I believe, yeah, that is the game. Yeah, that if TUD Ivory win that game, it stops UU from auto qualifying, and that opens another 6-4 qualifier slot for these tiebreaker teams.